G'day. When the ecosystem starts dictating to the market, everybody loses. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Welcome to day 36 of the lockdown here in Malaysia. Looks like a bit of a stormy day 36 actually right now here in KL. And I had one of those interesting conversations yesterday that I think lots of us are having right now, those sort of random conversations that we just pick up and chat to someone we haven't spoken to for a long time or maybe ever. And we're having a conversation around industries and ecosystems and markets and supply and demand. And I kind of came up with a bit of a theory. So stick with me on this. Industries generally, I think, are formed when a market, a consumer, a customer has a need or a want or a desire that needs to be met. The suppliers then come in to provide that product or service to satisfy those needs, wants and desires. And then ultimately, an ecosystem forms on top and around them to support them, whether that's industry associations, conferences, summits, support sundry type industries, legislators, those kind of things. That's what I call the ecosystem. So we've got the ecosystem at the top, we've got the supply in the middle, and then we've got the demand, the market, the consumers at the bottom. And I think what happens as industries tend to mature, then the ecosystem at the top and around it becomes kind of all powerful in a way. It becomes a little bit omnipotent. And oftentimes they find themselves, I think, pushing stuff down rather than having the market feed stuff up. And I think that's where a lot of industries have got to over the years. And what's happening right now is that I think a lot of those ecosystems, those industry associations and various bodies are being in a situation where they feel compelled, or even maybe they're being asked to provide guidance and direction and everything else, when in fact, I think it's got to come from the market. It's got to come from the demand side. There's no point in an industry association saying these are the things we need to do to get through this, and then the market, the consumers, deciding, well, actually, I don't want that stuff anymore. And I think, I don't know, I just started playing around with this idea yesterday in this conversation, but I think that's a pretty good summary. You've got demand that then creates the supply, that then creates an ecosystem, but when it gets big enough, the ecosystem starts to cascade back down again, and that's a dangerous situation. If you're in a business or an industry that's not being fed by the market continually in terms of that feedback loop, chances are you're pushing stuff down to the market that they're not going to want. And it's sort of similar to what we talked about a few days ago about a supply first business versus a demand first business. I think it's an interesting concept. What do you reckon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I do thank you for your time, and I will be back again tomorrow. See ya.